Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. Here we are, the one-stop shop for everything local fishing. We're going to cover what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to go over the future marine forecast, moon phase, and tide charts. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grab as an angler, or just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, so we're going to get right into this. Luckily, this week, we've got no news from our governing agencies, being the FWC and the feds running the water, the NOAA, drew blank. All right, anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. So we're going to get right into our fishing report. To start off with, we got a couple of, out-of-state catches, some freshwater stuff, one saltwater giant. Let me show you this here. This is from Nick. He got caught up fishing in Minnesota. Got a nice walleye. Says that this is the best tasting. Hello from Phoenix. Hello. This is the best tasting freshwater fish he's ever had. Great submission. Nice walleye. Maybe one time in my life I will eventually get something like that. All right. Now, next one is from Captain Alex. He is still in Alaska. This is, somebody called this thing a doormat. Look at that. That's a giant halibut. This guy right here, this is Alex. He's a captain that's based down in Marathon. And good Lord, that's a giant fish. Anyway, thanks for submission, Alex. I have no clue how long he's going to be up there, but he's been up there for a good while. Anyway, having some fun. All right, so let's go over our Inshore. On Inshore, we've got, Gary sent us a nice picture of a giant Jack Crevalle. Look at this thing. They don't get much bigger. Let me see if I can zoom in some. These are, that's an Inshore reef donkey, essentially. Man, that thing's giant. Anyway, so, with our pilchard run still in effect, live bait, man, these things are all over. And, if you can get one like that on your boat, that is an awesome catch right there. Solid. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. No real submissions, so I will talk real quick about our inshore bite. Inshore bite, right? What we're seeing up north, not in so much South Florida, but a little bit north of here, Sebastian, that area. You've got the black drum. They're inshore creatures. They're off your jetties. They're in shallow. They're swimming around, and they're they come up big. Next thing we got going on down south, and it pretty much up and down the coast, the tarpon. The silver kings, they are biting. So if you're a tarpon fisherman, you like to go out and target them, this is the time. Go on ahead and go do it. Again, the live bait is key to it, right? So if you're tarpon fishing, you're going to want to concentrate on something like pilchards, thread fins, something good like that. All right. Also, snooks. Snookers still biting. The snooks are always constantly biting. It's whether or not you can harvest them. So again, snook, tarpon, shallow, skinny water fishing, hitting the flats, hitting bridges down in the Keys, and see if you can get lucky. All right, so that's our inshore stuff. Not really sure. Haven't heard much about any bonefish or anything. I know, inshore mangrove snappers are getting ready to spawn, so that's going to be a nice little thing happening too. All right, so let's move on to our reef, shall we? And the first thing I have to say about the reefs before we take a look at any pictures is the fact that the sharks are being relentless. So if you're out there fishing the reef, it's kind of tricky to get by the sharks right now. They're out there hitting it. All right, let's take a look at some pictures, shall we, of the reef. Here we go. This is from Neil. He said, too many bonita to count, but the kids had fun. It's always great fun when the kids can get on the reel and pull in some fish, and bonita or tuna. So, they're gonna fight like heck. So this young man looks like he's, having a great day. The bonita are, it's summertime. They're in full effect. So if you can not catch them, you're doing good. Here we go. This is from Jimmy. A couple of nice red grouper. I see a couple of lane snappers over here too. So obviously, it's still grouper season. We've got some nice openings. So, if you can get out there and get them, And their keepers, man, more power to you. I'd love to get me some grouper on boat. That'd be great. Here's from Nick. Nice shallow water mutton snapper. So let me zoom in and I'll explain it to you. So when you see a mutton snapper that is got green on its back, that means it's more likely it's from shallow water. If it's all pinked up, that's a deeper water snapper. And you can see by the background here, color, he's in sort of aqua color. He's over some sand. So hey, solid catch. Some yummy dinner going on right there. Nice mutton snapper for Nick. And all right, let's keep moving on. What else do we got over the reef? Here is from Hank Alvarez. Nice red grouper. And there we go. That's what you're looking for out deep, man. Solid keeper. Bring that home. Fillet that puppy up. That's dinner for days. All right. Let's keep going on. See what else we got. This is just our reef, folks. The reef is well and alive. Here's a submission from Richard. This is more of a pelagic picture, but we'll take a look and examine this. So we've got a ton of bonita. And let me see if there's anything else in there other than bonita. Now that looks like all bonita. I don't see any blackfin and one mahi. So, you know, that's a nice, if the mahi swam up on them while they were picking off bonitas left and right, hey, more power to them. That's a solid catch. And, you know, he says he follows my instructions from what he's watched on the YouTube channel. So, hey, I really appreciate that, Richard. Great catch. Great picture. Love the smile. All right. Keep on moving on, folks. Here is a video by Carrie Hennessy. Let me see if I can, there we go. It's basically a bait table full of mangrove snapper. It looks like I see one. These are yellow jacks right here. That'll be an Almaco, or that's a shark actually. Is that a shark? Yeah, that's gonna look like a little bonnet shark back there or something. So I mean, he had a great catch. Look at all this snapper loaded up, and the yellow jacks are great too. Yellow jacks, if you ever get them, those are you know, those are good tasting fish to eat. All right, so there we have that. Let's see who's next. This is Juan Alberto Perez. Solid bonita. Story of the reef right now, folks. The bonitas are on fire, and you can't really escape them. However, I managed to this weekend. I didn't catch a single bonita. I had a weird bite. I'm going to talk about that here in a second once we go over our pictures and finish sharing what everybody else has got. All right, so that's what's going on there. Let me show this here. This is Cindy. She made a submission. Nice reef donkey right here. Look at that. And there's a man. That's a solid fish right there. So you know the reef is playing out. It's a nice variety of everything: jacks, snappers, bonitas, groupers, all the good stuff, right? And I took this family out trolling right here. This is Michael, his wife, and his kids, and we trolled up and down. The reef was active. We were getting bites. We managed to yank out this nice kingfish right here. And like I said, I didn't hook one bonita. We had a weird bite. There were storms rolling through. We went out Sunday. The storms were rolling through, and it was just a weird bite. We headed offshore a little bit looking for tuna and mahi. There was nothing. We ran across a few little pieces of debris right around 550 feet, but nothing really much going on. So for me, it was a weird bite. I read a couple of reports where people said, there was not much going on. And it was overcast and cloudy. We tried for tile fish, but they weren't biting. So, hopefully things will change this coming weekend. All right. So, out deep, we still got vermilion snapper. I'm seeing people catch vermilion snapper left and right. Maybe I should have tried for that on Sunday. Blue line tilefish, they're still in season. We got till July 19th. The window of opportunity is closing. And rosies, of course, folks. Rosies, 800 feet. Go out there, fish over the cobble. All right, and our pelagics, right? The blackfin are still swimming around. They're not gone. The mahi are starting to be a little bit more scarce, but not. You can still find them. The gentleman I took out. Hello, Victor from Philly. The gentleman I took out, Michael. He said the week before they ran out to 900 feet, found a weed patch, and caught 5 dolphins. So mahi. So that's good. Wahoo, right? June wahoo, they're still swimming around. I managed to grab one the other week. So, targeting them, I think it's going to be more of an incidental bycatch thing right now. But, so that's what's swimming around. We still got a variety of everything. It's starting to get hot, though, and the dolphin are starting to get small. And the fishing's going to be turned, a little tricky until our weather starts cooling off. The yellowtails and the snappers are still doing it. So if you're not getting, having any luck doing any trolling or anything, go on head out and get the Reef a try. I'm seeing lots of productivity on there. But you got some folks that are adamant about, their mahi. They love fishing for it. Me, I definitely love to give the Reef a try and try and pick off a kingfish or two, maybe run into a wahoo. All right. So that's pretty much it for our fishing report, folks. So let's move on into our weather. Like I said, it was a weird weather pattern Sunday, so can't explain to it. So what we're looking at this week, what the local meteorologists are saying is that we're going to have better chances of rain today, tomorrow, and then Thursday we're going to have some drier air move in from the west coast of Florida, push over Florida, and that will make our sort of afternoon showers pull up on the east coast, right? And then as the weekend approaches, our chances of storms decrease to the 40 and 50% rather than more like 70%. And again, these storms can be short-lived. What there is, however, is there is a ton of moisture in the atmosphere, right? So if these storms fire up, they can dump a lot of rain at one time. All right, so let's take a look at Wendy and see what we got going on for the rest of the week and see what are going to be the better days to get on out and make this happen. All right, I know I will be out there this coming Sunday. I'll be heading out of BOCA, so if anybody sees me, yell at me. Alrighty, right now, this is where we're at. We got west winds, right? So nice laid down ocean. I looked at it earlier. It was pretty flat. We had a little swell going on. Let's look at tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we still got winds to the west, all up and down the coast, right? So we'll have nice seas. Out on the west coast, you might be a little bumpy because you've got the wind pushing that, that amount of water towards you. Down in the Keys, looking fairly nice, not bad. Winds not in the double digits from the west. So, if you're heading offshore out of the Keys, you're good. All the way, Tri-County area, Biscayne Bay. I'm sure, over here in Everglades National Park, it'll be nice. So that's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, looks like it's going to even die down even more. Or when we'll start, it's summer, right? So it's going to shift directions in the afternoon and, fire up those storms, of course. So Thursday, again, we still got a west wind up north towards Palm Bay and Vero. It picks up, but that's offshore, right? So, that's more than 5 miles offshore. You're heading, you're going to be heading towards the stream, but up here, you got to head out 30 miles to get into any sizable water. All right, down in the Tri-County area, you're looking like good. So the weather's good. So it's all kind of going to depend upon what's happening with the rain situation, right? As the day wanes on. Thursday, again, our wind starts pulling more from the southeast, more from the southwest, right? Sorry. And way out here, Pulley Ridge area, all that. Long range trip up there might be nice. Up in the middle grounds, it's probably going to be a little bit more bumpy, right? Like to look out there every once in a while, and, just in case anybody's planning a trip on, something like the Yankee Captains or something like that. All right. Moving forward into Friday morning, looking like a nice morning when it comes to the breezes. Westerly winds pulling up from the south and curving around to the west. Same thing on the other side of the state. Looking a little bit more intense down towards the lower Keys, Marathon South, Key Largo, and North Miami. We're looking like a dead spot in Biscayne Bay, Tri-County area, all the way up through here. It's looking nice, right? So you got the wind blowing from the west, which means we're going to continue with a nice smooth swell throughout the week. over on the west coast, all the way up to Tampa. You know, you've got your wind pushing towards the land, so that can make for, you know, difficult seas. Okay. Now we'll move into Friday afternoon. Looks like our wind is going to shift direction and start coming out of the south to southeast, and that will change everything. The dynamic, if it stays that, and that's just not an afternoon process, right? You know, again, it's going to make our showers fire up. Saturday, our winds are going to increase. The more south we go, and more west we go, right? So out here, it's going to be blowing. And what's happening is currently down south of Jamaica, Puerto Rico, over in this area, there's an area of low pressure. It's going to move up towards the Yucatan Peninsula and Belize and everything over the next couple of days, right? So that's possible that could, you know, these storms are big, so it could, you know, affect our weather a little bit. Whether or not it's going to turn into a tropical storm or not, it's still to be seen. They said it has a 20% chance of development, so we'll see. All right, so that's Saturday morning. Yeah, breezes picks up a little bit, but it's still like it's 5 to 10 knots, right? So your seas are going to probably more than likely be 2 feet or less. So you're looking at a pleasant weekend. Saturday afternoon, of course, the breezes will pick up a little bit. West Coast starting to look, you know, nice to get offshore and do it for the weekend. Sunday morning, let's go to about 6 a.m. Here we are. Same thing, breezes, you know, 5 to 10 knots. Miles an hour, whatever they're reading, I'm not sure. It is knots, 5 to 10 knots. So, you know, again, seas 2 feet or less, probably a little bit of a chop going on, but nothing horrendous, right? You'll be able to get offshore and have some fun. The more north you go, looks like it's going to be a little bit more forgiving. The more south you go, heading into the lower keys, looks like your wind is going to pick up some. And like as I said, I'm not sure if that will be from that area of low pressure that will likely turn into some sort of tropical development. West side, Big Bend, everywhere. You know, over the weekend days, you've got the wind that's coming. All of a sudden, it's changed directions. So it should lay your seas down a little bit. Sunday afternoon, same story. It looks like it's going to, you know, change a little bit, maybe give in a little bit as the day wanes on, maybe pick up a little bit, not too much. Don't forget about the local lobster day on the 14th. When is the mini season? I've never done that. Hold on, let me look real quick. Is it July? It's the mini season. Lobster minis is Wednesday, July 4th and Thursday, Wednesday, July 24th and Thursday, July 25th. An additional day will be added Sunday, July 14th, exclusively for Florida residents. They've never done that. Thanks, Todd, for the, I appreciate that. Here we go. Thanks. That's a great little, you know, I did not know that. Man, I'm sure the ocean, there's going to be about 18,000 boats on the reef that day. But, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Governor DeSantis did something nice. Right, he's controlling the HOAs and our lobster season. Hey, that's perfect, man. I did not know that. I typically try to, you know, I've never, believe it or not, I've never gotten to do a lobster mini season. Every time I say I want to do it, something comes up, something goes wrong in life or something. I don't know. It's what it is. Maybe this year, who knows? All right. So back to our weather, our wind. That's Sunday afternoon. Monday looks like, yeah, the same, starts pulling from the southeast, not looking too bad. West Coast is, you know, same, up more north, middle ground area looking dead. So, you know, that might be a day to make a run for the border up there. Stays that way throughout the day, stays pretty dead out there in the Gulf. Down lower, looks like the winds will pick up in the afternoon, Monday afternoon. Come bully netting with us. I would love to, but like I said, it's life is a roller coaster sometimes, especially with me. But as the day approaches, hey, I will see what happens. Currently, I'm kind of filling up real quick with my guide services that I offer. I haven't even had a chance to really get out on my own boat and do any fishing of my own. And but hey, that's the way it is. Got to show some folks and have some fun. And work is work, folks. All right. Anyway, Tuesday. Looks like we're going to have pretty light winds in the morning. And Tuesday's looking fairly nice when it comes to our wind. Wednesday, same thing. So look, Tuesday into Wednesday, it looks like the wind's going to, cut us some slack. All right. So that's our wind. Let's look at our waves, and then we'll look at our rain. So our waves today, like I said, we had a nice swell going on, pretty flat. Tomorrow with that west wind, it'll be the same. Over on the west coast too, it's looking, fairly nice. These are 1 foot, 2 foot flat. Looks like a lake out there. Especially, look at this, down off the lower Keys. All right, here off Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach area. Nice. Tomorrow, that's tomorrow. Thursday, it looks like it'll pick up a little bit, but it's still nice. Not very far offshore. The further off, of course, you'll get some bump in the water. Out on the west coast, Big Bend, Everglades National Park, looking nice. Down in the lower Keys, looking nice too. That's Thursday. Thursday afternoon, still fairly nice. Again, we've got this west wind, right? So the seas are going to be fairly flat. 2 feet of swell. We're going to have a nice period between the waves too, if there are any. Friday, same thing. Looking nice all down, down towards Miami. As we go a little bit further north, up towards Vero, it picks up, right? Palm Bay, over in Tampa Bay, you're nice. As soon as you start heading offshore, you got some waves, some seas, but not too bad, right? As we head further south into the low-lying areas off the Everglades, that shallow, skinny water fishing might be nice. Friday afternoon, still nice. Got a little bit of swirl going on here in our waves. Probably from the wind changing direction. Remember, at the end of the week, it's going to start coming more from the southeast and pulling up that way up the coast and going out here. It's going to come from here and sort of swoosh out this way, which is why we've seen, kind of a confused sea. You've got waves here heading to the north, waves to the east, and then they pull out, and then waves coming from the east again over here. Saturday, not bad. Like I said, the wind's going to blow, but it's not too bad. It looks like 2 foot or less, definitely. Over on the west coast, same thing. The further offshore you get, looking like 2 to 4, not bad. Down in the lower Keys, it'll be a little sporty out there, but nothing totally undoable. Saturday afternoon picks up a little bit. Sunday morning, not bad. Like I said, 2 feet or less. So if you're looking to head out, the weekends, both days of the weekend are going to be fine. In between, Palm Beach area, a little bump to seas, but hey, that's fishing for you. Fishing conditions, and the conditions on Sunday look to remain the same all day over here on the west coast. Looks like we'll have, a little bit of choppy seas going on the park side of the Keys. Offshore, going to be a little sporty out there down in the Keys. Further down you go. Remember, we saw more wind going on down in the Keys, the lower Keys, south of it, all the way towards Cuba during the weekend. Monday, right? Monday, back to, 2 foot or less. Not bad. Waves coming from the east, so that's a good conditions to bring in some debris and stuff like that for the pelagics. Hopefully, it's not a weird bite where we got something weird going on in the atmosphere, some low pressure or something that messes with the bite. Tuesday morning, looking nice, 1 foot or less, 2 foot less maybe. Nice waves coming, they're coming from the southeast. Tuesday afternoon looks like it's getting even lighter. We've got our wind blowing from the east to the west. So our whole west coast over here is going to be, getting some nice stuff. Tampa Bay, Skyway Bridge fish people, you're looking like you will have a good couple of days ahead of you skinny water guys down in here going for the redfish and all that goodness. Good stuff. Heading out, you know, in the back country, doing some shark fishing, doing some Goliath grouper fishing. It's looking good. You know, if you head out into the ocean, 2 to 4. So, you know, it'll be bumpy, but hey, been slaying the mahi in 650. Todd says he's been hitting mahi in 650 to 900 out of marathon. That's awesome. You know, I'm seeing reports of them. Thanks, Todd. I just I ran out. Like I said, I went on Sunday. It was a weird bite. Didn't really run into anything. You know, I'm planning on heading out again this Sunday, doing another guided service thing. And they actually want to specifically target mahi. So, you know, I might just make a run for it out there first thing and see if I can pick off a couple. Might ignore the reef, which, you know, I always have faith in the reef, but, you know, you got to kind of appease your customers, which I don't mind. All right, back to our weather. So this is Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday's looking great, right? Into Wednesday, laying down. So as our week wanes on next week, it's looking like, you know, Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be lovely days. So just keep that in mind. All right, so now we're going to look at our rain. Let's look at our rain. Rain's always important when it comes to what's happening. This is us right now. We've got over the lake, to the west of the lake, Belglade area and all that stuff closed in. We've got, you know, some storms blowing through. Probably, if you look out your window, you might see some stuff right now. It's coming from the west to the east. Tomorrow morning, we'll have some activity offshore. Thank you, Jose. Some rainstorm activity offshore, scattered showers. So again, remember, we've got a lot of moisture in the air. So if you see storms firing up, they're going to take the possibility of them dumping a ton of water at one time is good. Wednesday afternoon, onshore breeze, you know, our ocean breeze kicks up and we'll have storms on the East Coast. Thursday morning, some offshore stuff going on closer to the Bahamas. Nothing really on the East Coast as the day wanes on in the afternoon. Again, storms fire up over the land. Friday, looking pretty dry in the morning again. And Friday afternoon, typical summer weather patterns, right? So let me show you this real quick. Let's see what happens. Remember, I told you there's an area of low pressure right here. This looks like it. So over the next couple of days, it's going to skirt across here and head towards not the Yucatan Peninsula, sorry, but over here where Belize is. Okay, so let's see what happens Wednesday into Thursday, and there it is, right there coming towards them, right? Friday, there's the area of low pressure. So whether or not, it doesn't look like they're predicting for it to be very much of a event. All right. Friday, like I said, dry in the morning. In the afternoon, our storms will fire up. Saturday morning, looking pretty dry for us out there. If you're heading out Saturday afternoon, again, scattered showers, you know, so that's an everyday thing. So if you're an afternoon guy, fisherman, angler, sorry, you know, just be wary of your situation and what's going on with the storms. Sunday morning, scattered, same thing, a little bit more windy, bumpier out there, but not too bad. Sunday afternoon, looking like we'll have a good amount of activity to the south. Monday morning, again, a couple scattered areas of moisture, but nothing looking, you know, too promising. And, you know, as I said, you know, our chances of rainfall from Friday and beyond seem to start being diminishing into for summertime. To say your chance of rain or showers to be less than 50% that's fairly good. So, all right, this Monday afternoon, moisture's down south. Tuesday morning, right? All right, yeah, scattered stuff way up north. Over on the west coast, some stuff going on too. Tuesday afternoon, this stuff starts moving in, but there's no real buildup anywhere. which was your typical rain stuff. Wednesday, we've got looks pretty dry in the morning, just a bunch of moisture over the lake. It's looking like there's some activity. Wednesday afternoon, it builds up as per usual this time of year. All right. So that is our waves, wind, and rain from Windy. Looking at, the rest of the week, we've got good stuff, but you just got to be wary really of the rainstorms and the likelihood that showers with thunder in them develop. All right. Now let's move on to the written form of our weather patterns. This is wind. Again, all these websites that I use are available in the description if you want to check them out for yourselves and become proficient at learning to read them and making your decision if you want to head out. Also, you want to use webcams, BOCA webcam, Boynton webcam, the Lighthouse, the Hillsboro Lighthouse webcam. They have all got them. All right. So here we are, Tuesday. We've got variable wind directions going on. But like I said, it's so low that the ocean was, very calm. As the night wanes on into tomorrow, our wind picks up into the, still in the single digits with the gusts in the low double digits, but from the west, from the southwest, which means we're going to have a nice little swell, right? Our waves, however, are coming from the east, but as you can see, that's that swell I was talking about. We've got 6 and 7 second period between them. Tomorrow, there's an 8 to 9 second period. So it's going to be like a lake out there. Moving into Thursday, we've got our winds still from the west, pulling from the south in the afternoon. Friday, winds from the west, starting to shift, like we had already said and saw. So Thursday, winds still in the low, in the mid single digits. Gusts, not bad. Friday, looking even better, lower chances. And again, Friday, I believe we have a 40% chance of rain, which is making that day look fairly good. If you can look out here, rain, not much going on. Same with Thursday right here. Not much in the way of rain versus something like today where you see rain chance all over. All right. Saturday, not much of a chance of rain. Sunday, a little bit of rain come around 11 noontime. All right. But we've got our wind starting out in the dark hours of the morning, shifting to the east, heading into Sunday from the east-southeast, right? Wind in the low digits, low singles, heading up into the low double digits as the afternoon wanes on, calming down for Sunday morning and picking up in the afternoon. Waves still coming from the east with an 8-second period. So, calming down to toning down to shortening the period to 8 to 7 to 6 seconds during Sunday, the later hours of the afternoon. Monday, wind coming from the southeast. Tuesday, same thing, southeast, single digits, picking up in as the afternoon, the onshore breeze goes on. And waves still come from the southeast, east-southeast, 6-second period. So Monday and Tuesday, our period is going to close because we're going to have more of a wind that has had time to close that gap coming from the southeast. Not very much. Tuesday, if you look right here, looks like there's the moisture in the sky is going to produce a better chance of rain showers through the early morning hours of Wednesday, but not much. It's just a chance, right? So there's our written version of our wind. That's a nice graphic going on. And it looks like, the chances to get offshore and get some fishing done are fairly good for the remainder of the week and throughout the weekend. Again, just be wary of the storms and situationally aware. Don't get yourself caught in a pickle, especially if you're on, a littler boat, right? Okay. Now let's look at what NOAA has to say about our weather. Our buddies at NOAA. Okay, so today, NOAA says tonight, and we'll look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, west winds 5 to 10, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Seas 1 foot or less. Like I said, like a lake over the next couple of days. Chance of thunderstorms and showers likely in the afternoon. Again, that's that little chance of showers in the morning. That's the typical summer pattern. Thursday, west southwest winds, seas 1 foot. Looking good. Thursday, again, same thing with the weather. We've got Thursday is actually what they were saying. The local meteorologists were saying Thursday is the day where you're more than likely going to get rain, but whether it happens all in the afternoon. Like, so they say, oh, okay, there's a 70% chance of rain. Okay, so you get all 70% in the afternoon. All right, Friday, west northwest, still a west wind, 5 knots, turning to the southeast in the afternoon. That's that shift right there. Seas 1 foot. Okay, so again, we're looking at a swell. So over the next couple of days, you got an ocean that's going to look like a lake. So if you can get out, hey, do it. Chance of showers, thunderstorms, that's the same thing every day. Saturday, east winds 5 to 10, seas less than 2 feet. Sunday, east 5 to 10, seas less than 2 feet. Every day, again, chance of showers or thunderstorms. Chance of showers or thunderstorms. When you've got that east wind, of course, that increases the choppiness of our oceans. So that's what NOAA says, and they're pretty much jiving with everything else. All right, let's take a look at our moon phase. If you fish by the light of the moon, or if you fish by the moon and how you think it reacts and treats your fish because of the proximity to the earth and the brightness of it. So here we are right now. We are waning, right? Waning moon means we are heading away from the full moon. We're heading to the dark side of the moon. Waxing means you're heading towards a full moon. So right now we're at 85% waning. Tomorrow we're at 76% waning. So that is Wednesday. Thursday, 66%. Friday, we're at like a half moon. Saturday, 43%. Sunday, 32%. Monday, 22%. Tuesday, 14%. So coming into next week is time to go bait fishing at night for your goggle eyes. For the remainder of the week, we've got, here we are today, 85%. So we've got good illumination, right? If you fish for wahoo during these conditions, with the seas being laid down like it is subdued, the high-speed trolling for wahoo is definitely a possibility if you have that in your arsenal and your setup and you fish by the moon. Also, another thing is water flow when it comes to your wahoo fishing. We're still in June. We haven't had as active of a wahoo bite as we did last year. Last year in June, the wahoo bite was phenomenal. So that's our moon phase, right? It's fairly good. As we approach towards the weekend, we're going to get less moon. So we will have more activity, hopefully, from the pelagics, which won't be feeding all night like they more than likely were doing this past weekend. And again, weird weather. So that's our moon phase. Take it for what it's worth. If you fish by the moon will be non-existent next week. Like I said, that's when your goggle eye fishermen head out and they have their best catches. All right, let's look at our tide charts. And we will be shortly wrapping it up, folks. So again, our tides, right? The tide flows in and out over a 12-hour period. It flows in for 6, out for 6, okay? And as we move towards every day, it moves further this way. Okay, so right now, let me explain another thing about tides. I go over this every week. If you fish the tides and you want to fish inlets and jetties and stuff where there's water flow coming from the intracoastal or some sort of, or let's say like the Bay Area, and it's water flow heading out, you want to fish the outgoing tide, right? So let's say you're on a jetty like BOCA, the BOCA jetty at BOCA Inlet. You do not want to fish the incoming tide. You want to fish the outgoing tide. If you fish the incoming tide, you are fishing for water and rocks and nothing. If you fish the outgoing tide, you are actually fishing in hopes of actually catching something. Trust me, I fished many a jetties for many years, and this is a rule that you have to follow. Otherwise, you can just hang out, and if you want to get a bait wet, hey, that's up to you. And the same goes for actually fishing out in front of your water flow areas, the inlets, right? You want to go drifting, you want to anchor up and chum, you want to troll in front of them. You're looking for that outward water flow. Again, what the outward water flow does is it brings all the sediment, all the junk, all the chlorophyll, all the little microorganisms and all that stuff. It pushes them out into the ocean. Little bait fish come and they eat that stuff up, and they eat, blindly, and then in come the predators, regardless of what it may be, pelagics or reef fish. They come in and they eat on that. So that is how that water flow works and affects fishing. If the water is coming in, it's drawing all that stuff back in, which is why there is no life on an incoming tide near inlets. Okay, so here we are. Today, we'll look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, as the sun's coming up, we are heading into, we're at pretty much a slack tide, and you'll be on the outgoing tide. So if you're looking to fish you'll be on the incoming tide. So if you're looking to fish the outgoing tide, it'll have to be an afternoon event when the storms fire up. And as the week wanes on, we will head towards being the outgoing tide as the sun's coming up. So if you are a early bird gets the guy, early bird gets the worm, a morning fisher person, hey, that outgoing tide, get that line in the water as soon as you leave the inlet and go for the bite. So you see, as the sun's coming up Thursday, we are ending the tide, going into the slack tide. And again, sometimes fish do bite well on the slack tide. Trolled up fish, those pelagics, they do bite. Friday, you're pretty much at the 3/4 mark as the sun's coming up for your outgoing tide, and then you head into your incoming tide, outgoing tide again in the afternoon. So you have your choice of which cycle to try and catch. Again, just watch for those storm buildups in the afternoon. Saturday, we're looking to be towards the middle of the outgoing tide. So again, Saturday, if you wake up and you're on the water at 6:30, once you leave that inlet, you can give it a couple of tries. See if there's something hanging out, feeding in the wash, right? And again, of course, Sunday, you'll probably be right around here, around I would say, about a third into it. So the water will be pulling really good. Monday, you'll be in between a third and a quarter of the way into the tide. Tuesday, you'll be just starting it. So you'll have a good 4 or 5 hours to fish strong tide should you head out Tuesday. All right. So that's our tides. It's looking promising for fishing those water flow areas the further the week develops. All right, folks, that about does it for the fishing, weather, and moon and tide report. So before we head off, right, I just want to say a few things. Let me pull up a website right here real quick. A little bit of shameless plug time right here. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. Okay. I just want to say that South Florida saltwater fishing merch is available from our sponsor, WindRider. I have the link to this website in the description. Go there. You can get hoodie shirts that come with gators on them. They got the logo on the front, on the back. You actually see me wearing these shirts in some of the videos. This is the exact shirt that I have. It's called the Helios. It's a UPF 50 shirt. It dries super quick. It's got what's called ultra wicking effect. It's breathable, and again, it's got if you wear the gator, I don't really wear the gator, it's on it, but you can. Sometimes I go without sunscreen. The only sunscreen that I do is I have a thing that looks like a deodorant stick. I put it on my nose, but my face and my hands I go without. So sometimes I'll throw the gator up. It's got a hoodie too. You put on your hoodie, protect your neck, put your hat on, you got your face covered, you're good to go with stuff like this. You can also, you can get them, without the hood. You can get the logo on the front, on the back. There's a couple of different colors going on. So, hey, if you're into it, support the brand. I appreciate it. All right, that's that. Again, South Florida saltwater fishing merch available. And the last thing before we sign off, folks, if you are on Facebook, I urge you, go to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. It looks like this. The front of the page actually looks more like this right here without the date on it. And go there and ask to join the group. It's going to ask you a couple simple questions. What's your favorite fish? And do you agree to the rules? The rules are simple. Don't post your YouTube videos or try to sell anything or any crap like that. This is literally just fishing report. Post a picture of your fish that you caught, right? Say where you caught it, how you caught it, whatever information you want to get, or just show off and say, hey, look at this fish I caught. Every Monday, I drop a nice little thing where you say, hey, time to show off, folks. This is what we got. And then Tuesday, give you a warning that tonight, it is the night. And if you want to be part of the show, hey, drop a pic. All right, it's guaranteed to get on here if you put a picture in there. And of course, one of those pictures that somebody puts on will be the thumbnail to the YouTube video live stream that you are watching now. So, hey, it's all, all inclusive. Everyone gets to, learn a little bit. You can pick up some knowledge and, have a little bit of fun, be part of the YouTube channel. All right. So that's Facebook, right? South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Okay. Before we sign off, folks, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, feel free. Ton of information, ton of videos, live streams weekly going over the fishing report. Again, who's catching what, where it's being caught, weather, straightforward, down to earth, simple stuff that, from a local that lives here too. All right. And I'm not making, several $100,000 getting told to be told what people want to hear. I'm going to give it to you straightforward. All right. We're going to wrap it up, folks. Hope you had fun. I did. We will see you next Tuesday, right? Till then, South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.